My plan today is to focus on underwater macro photography. So I have my 90 millimeter macro lens, which is a 135 millimeter equivalent for an APS-C camera. And I'm also going to have my +7 diopter. So I should be able to get some pretty small stuff. And I realized that the very first try that I had at macro photography, after looking at the images, they looked quite grainy, meaning that the ISO value was probably too high. So what I'm doing differently today is I'm going to add in my 15,000 lumen video lights, which should be able to provide enough light to be able to correctly expose the image and be able to drop ISO value down so that everything looks super crisp. And for macro photography, I think video lights are gonna be okay versus strobes. Strobes are really powerful, and I think that they're good for wide angle photography, but for macro photography, I think video lights are probably going to be okay. And I'm also going to be using the white filter over the blue filter. Honestly, because somebody told me to, I don't really know why. But maybe another day I'll try the blue filter and see. I'll be close up to the image. Everything should be able to be exposed by the light. I think the white lights are going to be okay once I white balance them, but let's find out.
Aside from lower ISO values, having video lights also lets me increase the shutter speed, allowing for crisper images, and adds a lot more warmth and color to the pictures. But once I turn the lights on in the water, I still need to do a custom white balance to make sure that the colors look correct. So here's an example of what it's like before adjusting the white balance and after, and these are completely unedited and straight from the camera. But so far, my favorite thing to photograph has been anemone fish. I love that they just look surprised every time you take a picture of them. And thanks to the addition of the video lights, when you zoom in on the photos, they're less grainy than before. I didn't use the diopter too much, but did manage to get a couple pictures of some small fish and some nice details on the coral. I ended the dive at one of the coral nurseries because I found a little dragon nudie underneath one of the structures. And I think my aperture may have been a little bit too open because I was really struggling to get most of it in focus, so that's something I'll need to focus on another dive. But the tide was dropping quickly, so we needed to head back in.
Okay, so I'm just getting back from the macro dive. And yeah, I think the photos turned out a little bit better. Was able to set the ISO to between 100 and 200. But with the lighting, I think the pictures turned out a lot more clear, which was great. But let's go see what the pictures actually look like.